Hello everyone. Welcome to the first update, post-op, where I'm going to update you about how everything went and how I'm feeling so far. The reason it has been 2 weeks post-op before I posted anything update related is just because, one, it is hard to talk when you are incredibly swollen, and also in pain. And also, being at the hospital and the days right after surgery are really tender days for me. And so I like to have a little bit more privacy during that time. Basically, that's why it has been a while before I uploaded or before I started recording this video. I am now 2 weeks post-op, and as you can see, a lot has changed. I mean, look at this difference, right? Insane. I have been focused on being comfortable. A lot of it has just been spent watching shows, or YouTube, really. Snuggling with my dogs and eating. And some of you may have caught on to the fact that I said when the upper jaw surgery gets done, and you may have been like, didn't you say that was already going to be done? Yeah. Well, here's the thing. One of the updates for you guys is that they actually now, they decided during the surgery to, instead of trying to do both the upper jaw and the lower jaw at the same time, they decided to just finish up the lower jaw during that surgery and then do the upper jaw surgery at a little bit of a later time, which is now scheduled for March 15th, once this heals a little more, because part of the complexity of my case is that with how small my jaw was, and how receded it was, I was considered a critical airway because it is hard for them to put a breathing tube in my throat, down my throat, because of how small my jaw was. And for that reason, they decided that reason and the fact that they were going to be doing a lot of surgery inside my mouth. So, long story short, they tried to intubate through the nose this time around. What little did they know that whenever they had to move the tube in order to do something, with the jaw, my oxygen saturation levels went from 100% all the way down to 29%, which is a big no-no. And so once that happened more than once that happened twice, they were like, yeah, I think we will just be on the safer side and not try to also do the upper jaw surgery today. Let them reserve their strength, them being me, let them reserve their strengths, and then we will just finish up the jaw surgery that has the highest potential to stop me from being considered a critical airway, because now my tongue has more room in my mouth, right? This jaw moved forward almost 2 entire centimeters, which is kind of a lot. And so that's basically the reasoning. So as soon as I heard that, I was like, yeah, that's understandable. I don't really want brain damage, so really, I thank you for making the safer decision. The only downside is now that the 2 jaw surgeries are split up. My 6 weeks of no-chew diet is now turned into 12 weeks of no-chew diet, because right when I will have been hitting the 6-week mark for the lower jaw, that's when I'm getting the jaw surgery for the upper jaw, and then it's going to be another 6 weeks of no chewing.
It's a temporary setback. It's a momentary loss.
a big focus of mine has been just literally eating, because it is taking me a long time to eat, partially because of the recovery and the fact that I can't chew, and the fact that I have been a slow eater my entire life because of the fact that I couldn't chew beforehand. So a big part is just focusing on eating and making sure that I actually eat the regular, 2,000 calorie diet, right? Trying to hit that calorie goal every day so I don't lose an insane amount of weight. As you can tell, look at the bite difference already. You can see how different everything is with the teeth lining up, which is really exciting. I cannot wait to use my chompers and actually be able to eat and chew stuff. Even though right now, only for teeth from here to here, from right here all the way to the right side end, I can actually, touch them, which I've not been able to do for, I think 10 years, which is kind of crazy, and exciting. Yeah, I mean, look at this. It took quite a few days for me, honestly, to get used to even this amount of change, because I think what happened is I got so used to having the other profile, right? Which is kind of what I was nervous about, is to not knowing what it would look like. What I wasn't expecting is even having this amount of change to where it is a more typical, profile, and to where I can actually, my teeth will be able to line up. Even having the jaw in a more quote-unquote normal position, it looked... For the first few days, I was having a really hard time looking at it and not starting to freak out and not immediately thinking that, oh my god, I have now the biggest over Chad jawline ever. I think there's a little bit of body dysmorphia, or, that's not the right term. It was just fucking weird, okay? I had to get used to it, and now that I have got used to it, it took literally about a week for me to kind of, settle into being okay, the jaw's not gigantic, it is literally normal, if not still smaller than average, but you know what? Hey, left side jaw is kind of cute. Right side jaw, bigger, but still cute. I am happy with how it turned out, and I'm kind of excited about it. Anyways, that's the update. Everything has been healing really nicely. They actually gave me rubber bands yesterday, which I absolutely despise. I'm trying my best to be a good patient and wear them, but they hurt like heck, and I literally cannot talk, when they're on. I don't have them on right now because I can't open my mouth, so I would basically be forced to be a ventriloquist, a very bad one at that. And the position that, the rubber bands are putting my jaw into brings the jaw out even more a little bit, and, I don't know the other thing exactly, but for some reason, it feels like either one of my teeth or some equipment on one of my teeth is digging in to my gums on the right side whenever I have those in. And so I'm trying my best to get used to it and just be good about it. But I literally cannot stand it. And I'm supposed to wear them at all times except for when I'm eating and brushing my teeth. I don't know how I'm supposed, or how I'm ever going to do that. But I'm going to do my best. But yeah, that's the first update for y'all. Yeah, as you can tell, I prioritized comfort over everything else. Also, this hood has been up as under the guise of being for comfort, when really I just literally cannot stand the haircut I got. And I'm hiding it from you guys. But yeah, look, comfort for days, hoodie, robe, slippers, and then yeah, that's it. And I'll see you for the next update. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Post-op 2 weeks and 1 day update. I slept like absolute garbage last night because I'm trying to wear rubber bands like throughout the night because that way I'm asleep and so it's not going to bother me as much as when I'm awake, right? I woke up like 7 times in the middle of the night because, one, in order to not feel the sensation like I'm constantly biting on my cheek in the middle of the night, I had to only lay on my right side. And my right hip is so tired of being laid on that I would wake up and then try to move like to laying on my back or laying on my left side, only to be pinching the hell out of my cheek with my tooth. And then each time I woke up, it would take me like 15 minutes to fall back asleep. And it took me like another whole 45 minutes just to fall asleep because of the discomfort. So I am trying dental wax, which I hope helps. It seemed to have helped a little bit with it, as I've been wearing it throughout the day, which is good. I'm also going to try to take a little bit of melatonin before I go to bed to hopefully knock my ass out a little bit, because I was a cranky little bitch. I kept waking up and I remember waking up at 3 a.m., checking what time it was, seeing it was only 3 a.m., punching the couch, and then falling back asleep after laying there for another 20 minutes. Anyways, I guess I'll update you guys tomorrow and see if I sleep any better. Yeah, that's the update. Anyways, ciao. Why, hello. I have another update. As you could probably tell, I'm having an easier time talking than I did the last update that I filmed. But the main update is essentially that, one, those rubber bands are atrociously unbearable. And so I got permission from my surgeon to wear them 1 hour on, 1 hour off, 1 hour on, 1 hour off, basically, throughout the day, which has been working a lot better, thank goodness. And as long as it's 12 hours a day, doing the 1 hour on, 1 hour off, that it should still be good. Thank the fucking Lord, because there was no way I was going to be able to do the other. And secondly, my body has gotten so tired of being a couch potato, because normally I'm a pretty active person, and so I've started stretching, and stretching out my legs and lower back and shit, because goddamn, have they been annoying me and crunching in a way that a 19-year-old's body probably should not be crunching. Anyways, you can probably tell I'm pretty excited though, and that is because it's snowing, and we rarely ever get fucking snow. So guess what I get to do? I get to go walk around in the fucking snow and probably make some snowballs and throw that shit. As long as I don't get in a snowball fight, I should be good. But I have gotten so tired of being a couch potato that this is holy grail. Thank you for snowing. I mean, look at the snow. It's so pretty. Shit. I can't show it to you. Wait, I should just... Look at the snow. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Look at that. Forgive me, I have been cooped up for far too long. Alright, hold on. Do you wanna build a snowman? But I'm gonna show you my snowman. Oh shit. His name is Jerry. Oh god, no, I can't do that. Meet Jerry. Okay. Meet Jerry. Wait, how do I fucking do this? Hold on. Jerry, meet Wall. Alright. Alright, everyone, meet Jerry 2.0. I smashed his brother. That sounds really wrong. But I smashed his brother and didn't show it on the fucking camera, so we gotta redo this bit. Jerry, meet Wall. There we go. Another short and sweet update. So you know how I've been complaining about the rubber bands? Well, now I have some good news, and I'm gonna stop being a complaining little bitch for a second and show you what just happened. So you know how I was saying that now I can touch, like, these teeth from here all the way back? Well, now if I slightly adjust my jaw, I can get from here to touch. So the rubber bands may suck, but they're working, which is so exciting. I mean, look, imagine not being able, like, having one tooth on the top and one tooth on the bottom that come together for, like, most of your life that you're aware of it, right? And so you eat a lot slower than everyone else. People get up from the table. If you're going, like, and eating with your friends when you're kids, right? They will go continue recess, and you, are stuck at lunch longer. Sometimes you don't even finish your food. Or, like, miss half of recess because you're working to eat. Or, you know, you're playing with your friends and then they get bored of waiting for you, which is kind of understandable, right? But it was a lonely experience sometimes. And as I got older, of course, I got more used to it, and shit. And, if I'm not hanging out with friends, I was typically just eating by myself anyways and watching shows, and that's how I would entertain myself and not get bored of eating. So, as you can imagine, this is a fucking huge change. I mean, look. From here, all the way to here. Which is like, I was a little bit like, how are they gonna get my, you know, I understand that they got this part of the bite done, but I thought that I'd have to wait until, like, after the upper jaw surgery, and then orthodontics would kind of finish it up. But, I mean, we got the two parts, now we just gotta kind of meld it together, if that makes sense, because in one position, these teeth from here to here come together, and then in another position, these teeth from here to here come together. So if we can merge the two, I'll have a full bite. It's fucking exciting. Pain and suffering has been worth it. Well, also, bit aside, it makes me so fucking excited. So, this is to prove that, you know, no matter what is fucking upsetting you at the moment, or if you're in a shitty position, or, you know, you're having, just try to look on the upside, okay? Even if you don't see it, the time will come that you will understand and you'll feel better. Because I started to get fucking jaded about those rubber bands, I swear to God. Anyways, it's a small example of that, but yeah. So that's the update for you. thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was a good demonstration of what it was like for me to heal post-op from the lower jaw surgery. And this like final little update was, you know, getting ready again for the next surgery. And overall, I think it was a really smart idea for the surgeon to split the surgeries into two, whereas, you know, I was originally going to have both the upper jaw advancement and lower jaw advancement done at the same time. Then they ran into the my O2 sats dropping a little too low. So I'm glad that they decided to split it up, even though it causes a little bit of, you know, it's not the most, how can I say this? It's not the most, like, efficient, I guess, way of doing it, and causes a couple roadblocks here and there. But being alive and healthy and recouping as strongly as possible is the most important, and so that's what I will look at it as. I hope this video was a good showcase of how I've been healing. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. Or if you relate to something, let me know. And I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video, which might be like a shorter vlog of the actual like surgery process, and I may or may not show some of like me right after surgery. It depends on how I'm feeling, because honestly it's like a little bit of a personal topic for moi. So you'll just see the next video, and then we'll see what it ends up being. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Love y'all, and I'll see you later. Ciao.